ladies and gentlemen, we are off and rolling. Welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. This show here today, no agenda, no real rhyme or reason to it. We are just here to talk anything that anyone feels related to any of the Pittsburgh sports teams. But mainly, we are going to be talking about the NHL draft tomorrow night. Roughly just under now, 26 hours from now, we will hopefully get to learn who the new Pittsburgh Penguins are going to be. The Penguins currently have 2 first-round picks. We will talk about what they could possibly do with those picks. And also, I have EliteProspects.com popped up right here. We are going to go through some of the prospects that I think the Penguins are interested in, or at least who I think they should take. We'll learn more about them because I'm going to be honest, I don't really go in too deep on the NHL draft like I do the NFL draft. So we're going to learn more about these prospects in real time together. Also, we will talk about some other news that happens to come along the way. No real baseball news here today. The Pittsburgh Pirates, they are off this evening. They will resume action tomorrow night against the New York Mets, game 1 of a 3-game weekend series. And then we will also discuss a little bit of some things going on in the football world, mainly the Steelers' AFC North divisional opponents. They seem to be making upgrades or getting entirely new stadiums. We will touch on that a tiny bit. But first thing is first, if you are new here to the channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. We are now up to 413 subscribers on the channel, gained 1 more subscriber overnight. So thank you to you who did so. Also, if you feel like it, leave a like and share this live stream so that we can grow the numbers of viewerships here on the channel. And comment in the live comment section. Leave any thoughts, opinions, or questions that you have. I can pop those up on screen at a moment's notice. Going to get started right away here talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins. We are now, like I said, just 1 day away from the 2025 NHL draft, and lots of excitement around what the Pittsburgh Penguins could possibly do tomorrow night. They, after the Rangers yielded their 2025, their 2026 first round pick, the Penguins, they now hold 2 first rounders, one at pick 11, one at pick 12, back to back. So I figured, why not here? Let's talk a little bit about the draft. Also saw today the Penguins, they are not doing their draft, at least the Saturday portion of the draft. They are not going to be making their picks from the friendly confines of the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex, where their main offices are held there in Cranberry. They are at a new site down in downtown Pittsburgh. They, I guess, are renting out this hotel-looking building here for the weekend. They will be making picks from there. I saw a video that the Pens posted taking a tour throughout all of those, so that's kind of exciting. But let's talk about what the Penguins could possibly do tomorrow night. Lots of things could happen, including trades. Darren Dreger, TSN NHL insider, he says that several first-round picks are in play, especially with teams that have more than one. The first team he mentions is the Penguins. They have picks number 11 and 12. They are willing to move one, if not both of those picks, for the right young player, according to Dreger. Also, the Montreal Canadiens, they hold picks 16 and 17. Philadelphia, they want to keep pick 6, but they also have 2 picks later in the first round at 22 and 31. And the Nashville Predators, they have pick 5, 23, and 26 in the first round. Looking at some other teams as well who could be, possibly trading down. The Utah Mammoth, they just made a massive trade last night. JJ Peterka, forward for the Buffalo Sabres, who some thought could be a target for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He is now on his way to Utah. The Mammoth keeps taking me a minute to remember their name. The Mammoth, they are shipping the son of one of their most legendary players, Shane Joan Josh, as well as defenseman Michael Kesselring, to the Sabres in that deal. Which, by the way, side note here, the Buffalo Sabres, you got to feel bad for their fans at least a little bit. Just looking at all the big names they've traded over the past 4 years: Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, Ryan O'Reilly, Brandon Montour, now JJ Peterka. Yikes, they are pretty much the Pittsburgh Pirates of the NHL. But anyways, they could be moving out of the 4 spot. Maybe the Penguins, their Utah, I think, is still looking to get NHL proven talent, young NHL proven talent, according to David Paganotta. Don't know necessarily if the Penguins have that young NHL talent. They do have NHL talent. Erik Karlsson, Brian Rust, Rickard Rakell, to name the top 3 there. So if you can package one of those with one of those 2 picks, 11 or 12 for 4, I'd be willing to take a swing on it if the right player is there. But who that right player is, we will find out now. So let me pop up this real quick. We're going to take a look here at eliteprospects.com. Let me share the screen here. So right here, this is eliteprospects.com. Their top 100 NHL prospects list, but they have the top 30 right here. Just looking here at what all prospects here could be on the Penguins' radar. Let's just start from the top and work our way down right here. James Higgins. Lots of news going on around him over the past couple of hours. You see here, he's the number 1 player on eliteprospect.com's list here. I can't remember exactly where he is on TSN's Bob McKenzie's list, but I know he's in the top 10. Anyway, he's number 1 here. And the reason why I'm saying there's a lot of news around him is that he spoke with the media in LA, where the draft will be held tomorrow night. He said that he went down to the Philadelphia Flyers after the NHL scouting combine to meet with their organization. But then you got other pieces of information like Cam Robinson. He is the content director for this prospect website, eliteprospects.com. He says that a source told him Higgins might be waiting a lot longer than expected to hear his name called. I even saw one person on a radio station up in New York saying that, Higgins, he could fall all the way to 11 with the Penguins. I'd be quite all right with that. One more thing here on Higgins. NHL Network, they put out a graphic this morning saying which franchise will James Higgins change the fortunes of. And the Penguins, they aren't even being thought of in this because they have the Islanders, Blackhawks, Predators, Flyers, and Bruins, all of them in the top 10 there. But looking at Higgins here, very, very impressive young man. 18 years old, 5'10", 185 pounds, left shot. Not the biggest in terms of, height or weight here, but, you like to think that he will use this speedster play type of him to his advantage. He's a two-way center. You like to see that as well. If we get James Higgins, I will be over the moon, because aside from maybe Sasha Barkov down in Florida and also Anze Kopitar for the LA Kings, if you're a two-way center, aspiring young two-way center, what better person in the NHL to learn from than possibly one of the greatest two-way centers of all time, Sidney Crosby. So, two-way center, cerebral tactician. Elite prospect saying he relies on great hockey sense and vision to make plays. That sounds like he's a great processor. The game will not speed up on him. So, like hearing that a lot. And impressive acceleration speed and overall mobility. He is a center. So, just looking else here. Really, this is my first time clicking on these profiles here. So, from Hauppauge, New York. Long Island Royals is his youth team. Would not mind James Higgins. He'll probably, I don't see him falling out of the top 3, if not maybe the top 6. I just hope he doesn't go to the Flyers. That would absolutely suck. But he's the number 1 prospect here in my rankings for the Penguins. You know, my mental rankings. Matthew Schaefer, who I think is a good bet to go first overall to the New York Islanders. I am not going to click on him just because I know the Penguins, they aren't going to have a real chance at him. Michael Misa, I think, is another one here where the Penguins, they might not have a chance at. So, yeah, now we're going to move on here to number 4, Porter Martone. This right here is the first prospect that I think the Penguins have a legit connection to. Now, Martone, just like Higgins, I saw today, he has had meetings with the Flyers as well as the Boston Bruins. But the Penguins, if they are looking to trade up, he could be their number 1 target to do so. 6'3", great size, right winger, 18 years old, 205 pounds. From what I hear, I think from, one thing I heard, every bit of these 3 player types here, power forward. So he's physical on the forecheck, physical to get the puck. And once he gets that puck, he takes great care of it, doesn't lose it often. And then really plays off of these 2 things here with this sniper trait here, goal scorer, excellent accuracy and power. It says right here. So a pretty good trio of skills to have for a, top forward prospect. Go in, get the puck. Once you get it, keep it. And then when you get a shot opportunity, finish it, put it in the back of the net. Probably my favorite prospect here, Porter Martone for the Penguins. I think I even heard someone mention he plays a little bit like a Matthew Tkachuk. And I have said for a while now, I absolutely hate playing against any of the Tkachuk brothers, but in a heartbeat, I would take them on my team like there's no tomorrow. So, yeah, would absolutely love to get that. This young man right here from Peterborough MHA, is that? Okay, back out of here. So 6'3", 205 pounds, right winger, Porter Martone. Yeah, would not be in the slightest bit disappointed with that. Moving on here, Porter Martone next. One of my 2 Swedes here, and one of the 2 Swedes that are most likely going to go at the latest pick 12 for the Penguins here. Anton Frondell, center here, over in the SHL. Great playmaker right here. Lefty shot, 6'1", so decent size, 205 pounds, same weight as Porter Martone. Cerebral tactician, just like James Higgins earlier. Some soft hands on him. Good maneuvering through traffic with the puck. And he, too, is a 2-way center. I put him not too far below Higgins in terms of the, prospect rankings here. Hell, he might even be above him in some cases in certain aspects of their games here. But looking, Frondell, 22 points in 27 games played over C's. James Higgins with Boston College in the NCAA, 32 points in 31 games. I'm just looking here, Porter Martone, 87 points, 47 games as a power forward. This would be these 3 guys right here: James Higgins, Porter Martone, Anton Frondell. Those are my top 3 guys that are probably out of reach for the Pens. But if Utah is willing to, shop around the number 4 overall pick for the right price, I would want to get up there and get one of those guys in a heartbeat, especially Bartone there. Not sure where he's going to go, but if he falls, keeps trickling down, got to go get him. Looking here, number 6 here, Victor Eklund. He's another one who I see a lot of Pens fans are in love with. He has a good chance actually to, maybe fall down into the Penguins' current neighborhood, pick 11 and 12. 5'11", right shot, left winger, 170 pounds, so very light. But, when you're light, you're fast. Also has that cerebral tactician player type to him, and he's a two-way forward. So in this case for Eklund, go back here. How was his production? Eklund here, 38 games played, 28 points. It's a decent production, but one thing for him, I think he's going to be more of a work in progress. Just because, he's young and slim right now. He's got to finish filling out his body. I don't know too many NHL players who are, playing at 170 and, having great success and staying on the ice here. So this might be a case here, Victor Eklund. If he falls down to 11, great value pick at that time, but you're probably not going to see him next year. You'll want him to fill into his body more, almost like before the Penguins traded Braden Yeager to Winnipeg for Rutger McGroarty. Yeager, he was a bit, undersized, still needed to grow some more. So that might be the case there with Victor Eklund. Malcolm Spence here, I don't know too much on. This right here, Roger McQueen, he is the latest of hype videos put out there by the Penguins on social media. The Pens, they have put out a series of, 1 minute long videos on prospects that will most likely get drafted tomorrow night. Do the Penguins have legitimate interest in these guys that they're putting videos out for? I don't know, but Roger McQueen, he was the one that came out today. Forward, so he has some versatility playing up there as a forward. 6'5", 192 pounds. Massive frame for a forward, even though he doesn't have the weight yet to go out there and lay heavy lumber. Though the player type he is here from Elite Prospects, they think that he will, eventually grow into that at the NHL level. Again, a power forward. Will get in to the dirty areas, use his big frame to impose his will on players and get the puck. And a heavy hitter, I would hope so. Maybe if you can get, I don't know, maybe a Matt Rempe with skill, like Matt Rempe for the Rangers. Dude goes out there, lays the body. Roger McQueen hopefully can skate 10 times as better than Rempe because Rempe's a pylon out there. But we can get a little bit of production out of this kid, that would be a heck of a pickup. Let me see, what was his production? Brandon Wheat Kings of the WHL only played 11 games, so he got injured, but did get 11 points. Makes you wonder how he would have done if he would have stayed healthy. Wonder what kind of injury he had. Does that say that anywhere here? I don't think I see it anywhere here, what his injury was. I don't know, but that one's up there. Roger McQueen. I would wait to see if he falls to 11. Caleb Desnoyer, not really of interest to me. 76 points in 49 games, though. I just don't think I haven't heard too much about him as it relates to the Penguins. 6'2", 179 pounds. Looks like he is more of a full offensive-minded player than he is, playing both ways. Jackson Smith here. Here's another one that is sort of like one of those outskirt prospects for the Pens. I've heard so much about everyone else. I've heard little about him, being linked to the Penguins. But I do know he is there. And there could be a slight chance, like, say, everyone who we've talked about so far is like gone by pick 11. He could be a pick. 6'3", 190 pounds. Good height. Pretty adequate weight to play with there. Lefty shot. Nice. What was his production like? Doesn't say what his player type would be here. 41 points in 57 games as a defenseman. That's pretty solid production. If he could play maybe like a Chris Letang, two-way defenseman, facilitator, 39 of those were assists. So yeah, he is definitely a distributor for offense in the zone. Maybe a power play guy right here. I could use that. Penguins, they could use some help on the power play, especially, as the old core is starting to fade out. I mean, hell, the power play last year for the Pens, it was yikes. I get, they just had like too much star power on a power play, if that makes any sense. Evgeny Malkin gets bumped down to the second power play unit just so you can get like a net front presence on the first power play. Putting Jackson Smith on the second power play with Letang, and yeah, I do that. Ivan Ryabnik, don't know much about him. Logan Hensler, no. This right here, one of my top defensive prospects, Radim Murka. Hope I'm saying his last name right. I've been saying Murka like the T is silent this whole time. 6'6", 218, right shot defenseman. I think the Penguins, if they are going to go with a defenseman, they're going to look for another right shot. Harrison Brunick, their top defensive prospect, he's a right shot, but he's more like a smaller, offensive-minded defenseman. Penguins, they have been pretty telling that they want to get a big on defense, both for prospects and bringing in a big NHL defenseman. Radim Murka, he could be that solution to both. 6'6", 218, right shot defenseman, two-way defender, but this length, this size, that would be a hell of an addition to the back end. I think this team, they've missed, having a true shutdown defenseman going back to, Brooks Orpik days, or even if you want to go more recently before he fell off a cliff here in Pittsburgh, Brian Dumoulin, 31 points as well in 32 games for Murka, 28 assists. I think most of those assists, they would be like transition, get the puck up ice quickly, spring your forwards on odd man rushes. Looking here, I'm taking Schaefer out because Schaefer is going to be gone. Murka is my top defensive prospect if the Pens are going to go defense with one of their two picks, which I think there's a good chance, the more I've talked, the more I've thought about it over the past 24 hours, defense probably will be their pick with at least one of their first round picks. Cameron Schmidt here, Lyndon Lakovic, Carter Bear. Haven't just recently have heard a little bit of fans saying, oh, get Carter Bear. 6 foot, even 179, left-handed shot. Kind of caught in between there on him. What did he play like? 77 points in 51 games. Even. 38 goals, 39 assists. He feels like, to me, Carter Bear here, like I'm just now like learning a little bit more about him. He feels like the type of guy that would be like a shock pick up here in the 5 to 9 range. They have him prospect 16 here. He feels like he'd be like one of those like, oh, this team, they went for the production instead of the upside. Now, granted, I don't know what exactly Bears upside is, but still, that seems like could be an interesting pick. If the Penguins do stick and pick out 11 and 12, if he's there and all these other forwards that we've covered so far are gone, yeah, take a swing on him with your second pick. Justin Carbonneau here, he's another player who the Penguins have put out a video on. I think he's like right on the outside of Bob McKenzie's top 10 prospect, 6'1", 192-pound right winger, right shot, power skater, speed and strength and agility. Hey, if he's got a good lower body that keeps on chugging along, I like if he has a little bit of tenacity to him. Just goes 100% all the time. Puck handler, good movements, maintaining possession, playmaker. So doesn't sound like he's necessarily a scorer. He's more of a facilitator. This might be maybe a pick for the future. Here he can marinate a year or two either down in the minors or with his junior team. 73 points. Had more goals than he did assists, but they said that he was more of a, playmaker. Makes you wonder what he will be more of at the NHL level. The assist machine or going for the goal scorer mentality. Here is another one, only going to do a couple more of these. Jake O'Brien right here. He's one of those guys that I think, if we were talking about the draft like a month ago, he was getting mentioned more to the Penguins then, but since then, I haven't heard of him on the Penguins' radar that much. 6'2", 170, right shot center for the Brantford Bulldogs in the OHL. Back here, what did he produce? Like 84 points in 58 games. 55 assists. Holy. That's impressive. That is elite playmaking, eyes in the back of your head, putting your teammates in a good spot to finish with the puck. That's impressive. I don't see any way the Penguins would be looking to trade down in the first round, but say a offer comes in from one of these teen teams where they really like a defenseman or something. They want to come up to 11 or 12 to get him, and you only need to fall back a handful of spots. You get like one of these picks here, plus a young NHL player. I'd slide back and take Jake O'Brien if he's there. Though he too feels like someone who's gonna go up higher than he's projected here on this list. Brady Martin. Sure, it'd be cool to have a Brady play for the Penguins. Last one here. Probably my second favorite defenseman on this list, besides from Radim Murka. Remember this kid, ladies and gentlemen, because this could be a Penguin like that. Kashawn Eikenson, 6'1", 198 pounds. So height, it's, not taller than any of the other guys, 198 pounds. Left shot defenseman. Penguins, I think they're going to pursue left-handed defensemen a good bit here in this draft. This kid, tough as nails. Mobile defenseman, so he can move well, but he is physical as all be. This is your tough guy. I think, talking about Brooks Orpik, he might not have the size of Orpik, but you're talking about a guy who is going to punish the opponent in the defensive zone, get on them behind the net and along the boards, knock them on their ass every now and again. And if he needs to stand up and throw Chuck Nucks, he can do it. That's the guy right there. That is what the Penguins need right now. I think Kyle Dubas has been pretty clear that this team needs to get bigger. They need to get stronger. They need to get more physical and tough to play against, be a bunch of pricks out there on the ice. I think they're still going to rebuild this year. If they're going to lose, they might as well, be scrappy and lose. Kashawn Eikenson right there, that might be the pick. So one more time here, looking at this. Didn't mean to get out of that real quick. Looking more once more here at this list. Just thinking ahead to tomorrow night, Schaefer's going to be gone. If Hagens falls down beyond like somewhere between 4 and 7 range, I'd be aggressive if I were the Pens to jump ahead of the Flyers at 8 here. Or no, the Flyers are at 6. Are they at 6 or 8? Let me find that out here. The Flyers, they are picking 6th. So if he falls to 4, Utah is willing to move out of that spot. Same with Nashville. They got 2 other first-round picks. They could, be willing to drop down a bit. I'd move up and get Hagens away from him, or Porter Martone. So right now, just looking at this list again, Hagens, probably Martone, and Frondell. Those guys right there, they are trade-up candidates. Those are the only 3 guys that, as I see right now, that I am trading up into the top 6, top 8 for. After that, looking here, down here more, at guys that could go in the 11 to 12 range where they're currently picking, Merca, McQueen, Eklund. I'd probably be maybe a tiny bit of an overdraft, but I don't think so. Kashawn Action, Jake O'Brien, those guys there. And then if you want to, go down the list, maybe some back-end fringe guys to go at pick 12 here. Carbonneau, Jackson Smith. I actually lumped Smith in there with like McQueen and Merca and Eklund. I'd be willing to take him if, Merca's gone. Take him with one of the 2 picks. So that should be an interesting night tomorrow night. Let me go to the comment section real quick. Flacco, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Is it tomorrow? Yes, it is. 7 p.m. I will be making the stream on the channel later tonight. Tomorrow night at 7. I think it's on, is it on ESPN? It is, yeah. It'll be on ESPN. Yep, 2025 Upper Deck NHL Draft. Round 1, Friday, June 27th at 7 p.m. on ESPN, or if you're, up Canada way or in another country, NHL Network, ESPN Plus, Sportsnet, and SN1. So, yeah, it's going to be a great night, hopefully, for the Penguins. Handful of good names there that I want them to take. 3 candidates, Frondell, Martone, and Hagens. I am willing to sell off maybe a Rickard Rakell or an Erik Karlsson or a Brian Rust to go get. And then you get that. So what I've said on here before is that I would like to go get both Swedes, Victor Eklund and Anton Frondell. Don't think that's a possibility. As a matter of fact, I know it's probably not a possibility. Frondell, he'll go probably before 4. So in that case, if I can go up and I can get Martone or Hagens, solid forward who can kick, who plays the wing, love that. And then with the second first-round pick, get a sturdy defenseman like a Merca or Eichton, that'd be a A-plus draft. Because then hopefully you're going to suck this year. You're going to get a franchise-changing, rebuild-ending center in Macklin Celebrini. Might as well get the sturdy defenseman to help lock down that defense core and get him a kick-ass winger. With all the picks, they should grab a top 5. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether or not Kyle Dubas is looking to move up. I think the team's up in the top, 5, 6, 8 right now. I think if they're going to move on, like the Penguins, they have a pick 11, which isn't too terribly far away for teams to fall down into the back end of the first round. It's just, I think those teams, they're looking for young NHL talent. Meanwhile, the Penguins, they have older NHL talent like Rust, Rakell, and Karlsson. Maybe they can convince one of those teams to, take one of those guys. But we'll see how it plays out. High hopes tomorrow night, going in with pretty decent optimism. All of the trades, all of the selling, the acquisition of draft picks, which Kyle Dubas Bravo took one hell of an advantage of the seller's market this past year. He is now going to need to bring it all home in what will probably be his Super Bowl of the offseason, hitting on these 2 first-round picks, changing these picks that he has acquired, putting a name to them. Got to get him right. Pick 11 and 12 back-to-back. Also, the Pens have pick 59 in the second round, so 3 picks in the top 30. Looking to add to a still growing prospect pool with great young talent already. Rucker McGroarty, Billy Koivu, and Harrison Brunick. Sergei Murashov in net. Some other defensemen, Anil Pianiemi, Owen Pickering. Back to the forward group, Tristan Brose, Tanner Howe. Looking forward to tomorrow night. 6 of you in here right now. Welcome to the stream. Talking about who the Penguins could be going after tomorrow night. Round 1 of the NHL draft. Hope you all join me back here tomorrow night. I will be live for at least the first half of the first round, at least until the Penguins make their 2 picks. The draft begins at 7 o'clock, so I will go live probably around 10 minutes beforehand. We'll talk any last-minute pieces of information that happen to, come across our way. See what the Penguins will do tomorrow night. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again, like I will be tomorrow night. Also, feel free to like, share, and comment in the live chat, just like Flacco here. Glad to have you back like normal, Flacco. Just going to continue really BSing here. There's no real rhyme or reason to any of the news here today. Just sort of talking about, stuff that we scroll across. More on the NHL front, not really relating to the Penguins specifically, but this stuff does affect him. The NHL and NHL Player Association, they I guess agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement today, and some details out of that meeting are pretty interesting. The big one here, the NHL will be moving to an 84-game regular season beginning in 2026. 2 more games from the current 82-game format. With that being said, adding 2 more regular season games, the preseason is going to be shorted by a game or 2. So 84-game regular season will be coming here in 2 years. I'm sort of reading the bullet point notes here of what all went down. Player contracts for free agents. So right now, contracts in the NHL, if you are a restricted free agent, you can sign a maximum 8-year contract. If you are an unrestricted free agent, you can sign a maximum 7-year contract. The NHL has cut those maximum years down by 1. It is now 7 years for players re-signing with their current club, 6 years for players on the free agent market. That will begin in next year's off-season. This will be the final year of 8-year deals. Maybe I wonder if you see maybe a good bit of those handed out if teams are saying, hey, last time here we can get 8-year deals done. I could see Mitch Marner getting that. Though I think Marner, he might go for like a shorter deal, like a 3 or a 4. I've heard that. Sam Bennett, he could get in 8 down there in Florida with the Panthers. Looking else here, this one I absolutely love because the Penguins, when they won back-to-back cups in 2016 and 2017, they undoubtedly did it right. They didn't need to manipulate loopholes like so many cup champions have over the past couple of years. those loopholes, they're coming to an end. A comprehensive playoff salary cap mechanism will be implemented. This will close the long-term injured reserve loophole, which, for those of you who don't know, say you are up against the salary cap, you have no room. You have a player who's making $8 million, you put him on long-term injured reserve until the playoffs, and then you can take him off and you can play over the salary cap as much as you want. Nope, that is done. We saw the Vegas Golden Knights manipulate that loophole in their championship runs. I really think the first team that did this was the Tampa Bay Lightning. They did it in their back-to-back years, winning the cup. And what was that? 2020 and 2021. So that's all done. The LTIR loophole for the playoffs is now done. Teams will be needing to remain under the salary cap throughout the playoffs. Looking else here, signing rights to draft picks will be uniform across the board until the age 22. Not really sure what that one is. Player deferred salaries will be outlawed. This will significantly, this is one example of significantly more stringent contractual limitations. The revenue split in the NHL will remain 50-50. A significant increase in Stanley Cup playoff bonus pool fund will be coming. This one here I love because these are always great stories. The emergency backup goaltender, or EBUG, as everyone likes to call it. There will now be some establishment of a full-time EBUG that will be able to, travel with the team and practice with the team on occasion. So that's cool to see. No more days of, just some dude who works a 9 to 5 at an accounting firm who plays beer leagues on Sunday evenings. No more of those guys just, coming literally right off the couch and into an NHL game. There will be EBUGs full time that will be ready to suit up at a moment's notice. Really, the last thing here that I see that's, or the last two things here that I think are worth noting from the CBA meeting today in the NHL, teams will no longer be able to mandate a player dress code when arriving or departing from games. So you will see more flashy, or I guess you would say less flashy outfits from NHL players. I'll be interested to see who's the first to, break that dress code and, show up in flip-flops and a hoodie with an inspirational message on it. Probably be Austin Matthews or something like that. I still think you will see, most of the Penguins players be suited up to the nine. Erik Karlsson and Sidney Crosby, most specifically, those men always dress to impress. Last thing here from the CBA. As previously announced in February, the next 3 seasons of the NHL salary cap limit will increasingly go up. $95.5 million for next year, $104 million after that, and then $113 million. So the salary cap keeps going up. Going to try so hard, for all of us watching these deals get signed in free agency, going to try so hard not to immediately overreact like, oh my God, that's such an overpayment. We got to keep in mind, hey, salary cap's going up. So, $8 million today was $8 million per year today was, 2 years ago, a $5 million deal. We'll try to keep nice and steady with that. Oh, one thing here. Sorry, I missed this. Chris Johnston, NHL insider for The Athletic. The last thing I think that came out of the CBA today, the NHL and NHLPA, they have now opened a bidding process for cities to formally apply to host the 2028 World Cup of Hockey. So the Four Nations face-off will convert over to the World Cup of Hockey. in 2028. Cities in North America, Europe, and other international destinations are welcome to apply. No, that won't be the 4 nations. That will be the in between thing between the Winter Olympics. You'll have the Winter Olympics next year, and then World Cup of Hockey in between each Winter Olympic. So my apologies. 10 of you in here. Welcome all of you to the live stream. We are just shooting the crap here tonight, talking mostly about the NHL draft upcoming tomorrow night. Went over earlier in the program, looked over the top 30 prospects list on eliteprospects.com. I've named a good bit of prospects who the Penguins have either, shown at least some interest in publicly, and a couple of players who I would like to see the Pens go for. And we are just really BSing right now, and that's going to continue right now. We're going to get into the more Pittsburgh sports news segment here in a moment. Real quick to the comments section. Show some style. Yeah. NHL player is going to show some flash. Now maybe the old head NHL, this is a man's game, hockey. Dress professionally. We'll see who's the first to break that code. Looking here to see if there's anything else going on Twitter right now before we continue with the rest of the show. Interesting here. Darren Dreger. Teams interested in Buffalo Sabres defenseman Bowen Byram include the Vegas Golden Knights, LA Kings, St. Louis Blues, Vancouver Canucks, Colorado Avalanche, Philadelphia Flyers, and Toronto Maple Leafs. The Penguins, who are looking for a young left shot defenseman. There's one right there, Bowen Byram, probably the top young left shot defenseman out there. He is available, and the Penguins not in the public eye here for having interest in him. I will say though, one thing I wouldn't mind, like Dreger mentioned Vegas there. I've heard Nick Hague, the Vegas defenseman, he's been dangled out there that he could be traded. If Vegas acquires Byram and Hague is on the chopping block, I would call me crazy. I might want Hague over Byram. We do have some news here, some Pirates news. They have made a signing here. Hang on. Sorry if that graphic is loud. Let me know if it is. I'll turn it down. The Bucks, they have just signed Genesis Cabrera, left-handed relief pitcher who was last with the Chicago Cubs. I didn't even know he got cut from them. He signs a 1-year deal with the Bucks. The Bucks, they have sent right-handed pitcher Michael Darrell Hicks down to AAA. Additionally, right-handed pitcher Hunter Stratton was designated for assignment to make room on the 40-man roster. Damn. Why couldn't we just get rid of the dude who has like a 9 ERA, Darrell Hicks? You're already sending him back down to AAA. I'd like Stratton. Damn. Anyway, welcome to the Bucks, Genesis Cabrera. I wonder, that's another left-handed relief pitcher. How many do we need? We got Barucki, Ferguson. I mean, we got rid of Joey Wentz earlier in the year. Tim Meza, he's down there. So, welcome to the Bucks, Genesis Cabrera. The Pirates, they have a new left-handed relief pitcher. Jeff Passan, 37 minutes ago, Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco found guilty of the very illegal stuff he was doing down in the Dominican Republic. Okay, we are going to continue right now with the more Pittsburgh news segment of the day. Going to go into the football world here for a minute. Nothing too much relating to the Steelers. Pretty much the big Steeler news here today is that there is now a new 50th anniversary terrible towel that will be dropping on July 1st. Let me pop that up here on the screen for y'all to see. Right there, a new terrible towel. 50th anniversary, that's nice. That is sharp. Only 5,000 will be available. We'll have to see if there is some sort of pre-order that can be done, available on July 1st at 10 a.m. So go out and get your 50th anniversary terrible towel if you feel like it. If I do get one, not sure how to go about it. I will try to make sure that it is up in display somewhere in this room. For those of you who don't know, like over there, right on the other side of this entertainment center, off camera, there's a whole wall of terrible towels pinned to it. I'm not sure. I probably won't put it there because that wall's pretty full. Maybe I'll put it somewhere here. Maybe have it dangle down from the base of that replica WWE Steelers Championship belt back there. We'll see. Back to some news here. We talked about it yesterday. Flacco, you and I were making fun of the Browns a little bit about them moving to a new stadium. I saw a video today. They released a video of at least the initial, I guess, blueprints of what the stadium is going to look like. It is nothing impressive. I got to tell you, it looks like a warehouse. Half of it looks like a, what's the word of that? Like little part of your house or a garage, a greenhouse. It looks like a greenhouse in other parts, like where you grow vegetables. Apparently they're going to build this stadium. They're also building like a whole complex of other buildings around it. It looks ugly as hell, in my opinion. I think ESPN Cleveland on X, they posted a video of it. If you want to go check it out. The dog pound is going to have a roof on it. So much for rough and tough AFC North football. Let's put a roof on it. By the way, congratulations, bravo to the Toronto Blue Jays. They absolutely flamed the Browns today. The Blue Jays, they were playing the Cleveland Guardians in Cleveland today, and a pickoff throw was thrown to the first baseman. He couldn't handle it, and the runner broke for home. The first baseman threw the ball like a wide of the catcher at home plate. Toronto dropping an all-time quote, posting that video. The search for a QB1 in Cleveland continues. Hilarious. Bravo, Toronto Blue Jays. You just went up in my favorite baseball teams other than the Pirates. Also here, talking about more stadiums. The Browns, they're going to build a new stadium. The Ravens, they're making renovations to their stadium. The Bengals today, they have officially been approved $470 million to renovate their current stadium. Is it still called Paycor? I think it is. So at least the Ravens and Bengals, they're staying outside, just like the Steelers. They're the only ones not to receive any sort of, major renovations funding. I think what wasn't the last time Acrisure got renovation was when they put those club seats right behind the end zone. Wonder if they'll get anything soon. Isn't the lease on the stadium up here in 5 years? We'll see if they decide to renovate it or if they're going to maybe build a new stadium elsewhere. Last thing here related to football here, again, doesn't relate to the Steelers too much, but feels worth saying because this dude was one of the biggest Steeler beaters of the Ravens for years, Justin Tucker today got suspended for the first 10 weeks of the upcoming NFL season, which, he's not on a team, for violating the league's personal conduct policy. I think all of you know what I'm talking about there when and why he got suspended. Pulling allegedly pulling a Deshaun Watson, allegedly. So, last couple things here, wrapping up today's show. Back to hockey news real quick. Pierre LeBrun, NHL insider. The Penguins are indeed listening on Brian Rust, but are in no rush to trade him, if at all. He put in a recent report for The Athletic. So he is another one of a handful of people saying that the Pens, they are shopping Brian Rust, just like they are definitely shopping Erik Karlsson and are most likely going to shop Rickard Rakell. However, that does give me hope. Brian Rust, he and Rakell, even though I think we could get a lot for them, it would have to be something stupendous for us to move on from them. But deep down, I almost want to keep them here in Pittsburgh, at least until, Sid runs out or is about to, retire. So that does give me hope there, that end line there, that they are listening on Rust, but they're in no rush to trade him, if at all. I guess you can also take that they're in no rush to trade him. Of course, they aren't going to be, because they got to wait another couple of days here until the 1st before his no movement clause runs out. Somebody who shouldn't be, the Pens shouldn't think twice about trading, that would be either Tristan Jarry or Alex Nedeljkovic. Elliot Friedman reporting yesterday that the Utah Mammoth, Detroit Red Wings, Edmonton Oilers, San Jose Sharks, and Philadelphia Flyers are looking for goaltending. Gentlemen, we have a goaltender or two. If you want to come at us, any offer, they're yours. Wouldn't it be hilarious if we sent, if really Tristan Jarry is beyond no repair, we send him to Philly, and then once this rebuild's done, he's still the goalie there, and we just beat the Flyers every single game. That'd be awesome. Last bit of hockey news today. Happy birthday to Connor Dewar. One of my underrated favorite pickups, player-wise, by Kyle Dubas so far in his tenure. Like the way Dewar plays. Third, fourth line. Dude gets in the mud there. Excited to see a potential fourth line, my dream fourth line for this upcoming season. Dewar, keep Blake Lizotte, and have Boko Amama out there. Those three, I think they'd be pretty solid. Last bit of information here, just talking about the Pirates for a hot minute, because it's summer and we have to, and baseball is the only sport currently active right now. The Bucks, they're off tonight. Like I said earlier, they begin a 3-game weekend series against the New York Mets tomorrow. The probables for each of those games were posted today. Mitch Keller, his turn in the rotation. He will pitch tomorrow night, going against left-handed pitcher David Peterson. Peterson, 5-3 with a 2.98 ERA. Sounds pretty solid, like he is going to pitch very well against us. Saturday, Bailey Falter back on the bump. He will go against Paul Blackburn, which Blackburn, I think he used to be a starter with at the time, Oakland Athletics. And then I thought he was in their bullpen, but he's going to get a start. That might be a bullpen game Saturday for the Mets. We'll have to find out then. And then Sunday, Mike Burrows will pitch once again. He'll, instead of, being a bullpen guy, he will start that game. Wonder if that's going to be a bullpen game for the Bucks, because Ashcraft, he started in that spot last week and did a hell of a job. So I guess Burrows back in the starting rotation. He will go against the former Milwaukee Brewer and Cincinnati Red Frankie Montas. Montas with I think that's going to be his first start of the year. I think he's been on the injured list. Back to the comment section real quick. LOL cheap. It's 2025 and they're making the stadium a grow house. Yeah. I mean, less is more sometimes. Like, make a football stadium look like a stadium. Because increasingly, football stadiums, they've looked more and more just like, ugh. Like, SoFi Stadium's all right. The Death Star, Allegiant Stadium out in Vegas, that's all right. Like, all the stadiums look all right, but the way the Browns just put that out there, yikes. Whatever it looks ugly. At least I think the Buffalo Bills, they're going to get a new stadium here soon. I think theirs actually looks like a football stadium. Like, damn. Only trade up for Martone. Chicken a la King, welcome. Yeah, trade up for Martone. He is probably my top guy on my board. I'm trading up for him. If he even falls to third, I am calling the Chicago Blackhawks like crazy, trying to go up and get him. If Utah really is shopping the number 4 pick, like they allegedly are, Martone, I'm giving up Raquel or Rust to go get him. And that pains me because I love both of those guys. But if you can get Martone and then you can double back with, either one of the picks, 11 or 12, that you have remaining and get a defenseman, A+. A+. Go get Porter Martone. Martone or Frondell or Higgins. Those are the 3 guys I am willing to trade up for. Martone, I'm trading up into the top 3 or 4 for. Higgins and Frondell, maybe 5 is when I would, maybe call and try to trade up 4 of them. Get ahead of the Flyers before they make their pick. We'll see. Okay, going to take one final scroll here through Twitter, see if we have anything new going on besides from that news that we got. The Bucks signing Genesis Cabrera. The Fourth Period podcast with David Pagnotta. The New York Islanders, they're shopping defenseman Noah Dobson. Teams interested in Dobson: the Utah Mammoth, St. Louis Blues, Columbus Blue Jackets, and San Jose Sharks. So that could be a name to watch tomorrow night. Maybe it would suck if the Islanders, I have no idea what their pick layout looks like. If they were to, take Schaefer or Higgins first overall and then double back and get whichever one of the 2 they don't get at number 4 for Utah, that would suck. Looking, is there anything else going on here? Not really seeing it. PFF, they just put out a ranking. Top defensive lines in the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers, number 1, even ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants. It's close. Maybe I do give them a slight edge ahead of those teams because the Giants, they just suck. And the Eagles, they lost, 2 or 3 guys in free agency. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to do it for some news this week. Talking about news. If there's anything major, football news or baseball news-wise that happens to go on over the next 24 hours, we will talk about it at some point tomorrow night. Come back then, 7 p.m. I will be live, probably go live about 10 minutes or so beforehand. We will watch at least the first half of the first round of the NHL draft. Hope you join me back here then. Hopefully the Penguins, Porter Martone, if he falls, go get him. Then wait, let either Radim Merca or Jackson Smith or Kayshawn Eichson fall to you. Love it. That's the plan. That is plan A. We'll see how they do tomorrow night. Thank you for joining me once again. Have a good rest of your night, ladies and gentlemen. For the final time, please like, share, and comment on this video. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. We are up to 415 subscribers on the channel. Gain 2 more subscribers while we are live here tonight. Hopefully, we can get a couple more tomorrow during round 1 of the NHL draft. Thank you all. We'll see you back here then. Let's go Pens, 24 hours away. It's an exciting time for hockey in the city of Pittsburgh. The future could be on the team tomorrow night. See you guys then. Have a good rest of your Thursday night. Peace. Come back tomorrow.